She don't. But something where.
It can be difficult if one of the machines stops working. Then we have to go all the way to Pokhara to have it fixed.
Fortunately, she also earns money from her small kiosk, which is right next to the bakery. Local people are her main customers.
Down, set this on top.
Tourists who come here to go climbing the
Keep it up, up and down, keep it up and down the slow-mo, no-mo, up and down the slow-mo, chomo. That's a big tech admin. You gonna reset my router another 8 times, you fucking pussy?
They now cook with electricity, and there are 2 telecommunications.
Because that means you're using a technology that was invented in Toronto.
Recently, I had dental treatment, which was only possible because the medical station has electricity now.
Now this would be a mouse turd. The question is, how the fuck
without electricity, none of this would exist. Everyone is making the most of it. Nonetheless, about 40% of the people in the villages here still don't have electricity.
Like brownies, and these ones here are almost like brown.
Nepal has been working to renew and expand the electricity grid after a devastating earthquake destroyed much of it years ago.
Now there's no chocolate chips in any of these brownies.
It's the linchpin of the government's plan.
Oh, so the breakdown is this.
For papermaker Pornoguru.
As long as I keep communicating with sex offenders, that's great. Every time I say we're going to kill you, YouTube flips out its ass, starts deleting videos, fucking up my router.
Untreated paper, as well as
I
products
have to
such as diaries and
why is
notebooks,
that?
cards,
Can someone
and
explain that
lampshades.
to me? Because I don't remember getting a paycheck from Google.
This income made it possible for the widower to raise his 2 children and send them to school. His daughter now lives in Pokhara and also works in the shop. Pornoguru stops by at least once a week. He's planning to expand his business.
Love that. Facility. So I'm thinking of expanding and processing nettles to make fabric.
Pornoguru has big plans for the future, but he doesn't want to move to the city full time. The mountains are his home.
Hydroelectric generators.
Hydropower is the most common source of green energy. It makes up 50% of the world's production, followed by wind and solar power. Geothermal and tidal power plants make up a smaller chunk. The main producers of renewable energy are Asia, Europe and North America. Meanwhile, Africa lags with just 2%. And yet Africa has huge potential when it comes to solar and wind power. The energy revolution has indeed got underway there, as can be seen at Lake Turkana in Kenya. Tara Lepolote is out fishing on his wooden raft. Lake Turkana is full of fish, but today he only manages to catch 1. He'll be able to sell it for 90 cents at most, not enough to pay for a meal for his wife and 6 children.
You just caught a fish.
He can only dream of owning a real boat like one of these. The village where he lives is tranquil, far away from the hustle and bustle of the big cities. But the comforts of modern life are also missing, such as electricity. Fresh fish would sell well in the town close by, but the fish would need to be collected and kept cool. That's difficult to do without electricity.
We can sell you a cooler, no warranty,
And dried fish doesn't fetch as good a price. We only get a
97,
delivery
we
of
sold
ice
3
once
freezers
a
in a row to a
with
guy
which
with
we
a
can
cab.
cool the fish. If we had electricity,
small enough to
we
fit in
could
the trunk
sell
of his
more fish,
cab.
and then we'd have
There's a
more
Crown
money for
Victoria,
the
though.
education of our children.
And they had
or
to
for
work
when we
well
get
enough
sick.
that when he shipped them to Africa
When
for his mother to sell bottles of water, that it wasn't a ball, if it breaks, we'll come fix it. He's shipping it to Africa. My grandfather's like, I know what you need. Because he knows which equipment will keep running. And basically, you can't predict how long you can't predict it precisely when it's going to fail. It'll run that long. Shit that's simple enough to fix it. Anybody from any military could figure it out. So we sold him 3 different freezers for his mother to sell bottled water in Africa. I never heard nothing bad about it. So they must have. Oh, well, he came back 2 more times, so they must have worked, right? But I think that third one kind of tells you that. Fucking. So he's catching fish, selling them to buy food for his. Does his family not eat animals or something? That would I would understand that at least. Look at all these fish. There's cows everywhere, and not a bite to eat. These damn cows are eating all the vegetables. You broke the radio.
And the desert hinterland, where it fluctuates a lot.
Genius. How the fuck did you get a job at ABC, you fucking goof? Well, you must. You gotta be friends with the other goof over here at the police station and the one upstairs. You gotta be.
Access to the power generated.
I don't need to break into your emails to figure that out. Little things you people do.
Right to finally be connected to the electrical grid. All the villages.
Remember, the Germans were taught American GI English. You couldn't tell they weren't American the way they spoke.
We won't allow ourselves to be divided on this issue. We demand electricity for everyone.
Why?
The wind farm
What are you gonna
provides
do with your
over
electricity?
15% of Kenya's electricity.
So I just want to know.
Problem?
If you think like the electricity is the be all and end all, you miss the point too.
Electricity. Electricana cannot provide power to the communities. Electricana must only sell to Kenya Power and Lighting Company, which is the off-taker, and the only licensed and regulated off-taker to be able to take power.
Off-taker or off-taker?
The wind farm is only responsible for generating electricity.
So,
Its distribution is in the hands of Kenya Power, in
more
which
of this
the
purple
government
stuff
has a
is bright
controlling
green,
stake.
I think.
We contacted the Kenyan Ministry of Energy. It told us
The
that there are
Kenyan
plans
Ministry
to
of
connect the
Energy.
communities around the lake to the grid, but it's not clear when. Only a few people in this
So it's a
village have
competition
solar
between us and
collectors.
Serpent Lake, where we've got 3
And there's
single-phase
just one
lines,
TV
but
for
Ontario
the
Hydro
community.
refuses to build us a 3-phase
Many here
line.
are angry
Why? Because a
and feel the wind
single-phase
farm is to blame.
line costs more than a
If I were
triple
a
phase,
sorcerer,
and they got
I would
3 of
fix
the
it, so the
motherfuckers.
whole wind
And they
park
tell
would stop
us we're
working.
polluting the environment by buying generators.
But that wouldn't help Taran Lepolota or his fellow villagers either. They'll just have to wait for the day when electricity reaches
How's
their
that feel,
community.
Dougie? Kenya is ahead of you. And if you ask
That's
me,
all from
Kenya's
us this
behind
time.
Nigeria,
We
which
love
is behind
hearing
South
from you.
Africa,
So
which is
drop us a
behind the
line,
Congo.
global3000
And you're
at
behind them,
dw.com.
buddy.
And check us out
Number
on
5
Facebook,
on my top
DW
5
Women.
list of
Bye
slow-ass
for now.
economies and societies. Well, Nigeria at least has a concept of what they could do to make money. Now, here's the thing. Uganda, they sell moonshine out of gas cans. Nigeria sells gasoline out of whiskey bottles. Hello? 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 You're both this close.
And now let me show you my house. Now here it is.
What you should be doing is burning the fucking moonshine.
She's my sister. And here's my mother. Hi, hello. Now this is my place, my favorite
Oh, and I've got
place.
links. Well, Toyota's new fuel cell, hydrogen fuel cell. Can't, but the link won't stay on my computer. That's the 3rd fucking time we've been down this road since yesterday.
I love chemistry.
I've been trying to share this Toyota fuel cell for about a day and a half.
I am studying very hard to achieve my dream. I hope to be the first Syrian woman who goes to the space. And now we are going to go to my school.
Don't say I hope, you're going to. It's easy enough.
I have studied
All these
here
fucking
for 5
chomos and
years.
dope dealers
I
and thieves can get around the world like
I was in 8th grade, and now I am in my last year in the school. I'm so excited.
Is it called the CL130 or something? FL130, CL130. It's not CF or CF, it's gotta be CL or FL or something. I think CL. It's a Hercules with floats. Lockheed Martin came up with the design. They just wait for somebody to buy it. They'll build it. What does that mean, folks? It means you don't need a 10,000-foot runway. You can land anywhere there's water. Oh.
I want to ask you a question.
No, the side effect of that is this thing is going to suck back fuel like crazy. This is when we'll be using the short runways with the extra weight. You would think, yeah, Genesis to takeoff. I'm thinking, get rid of that Genesis to takeoff. It's extra fucking weight. We'll just fly in ground effect all the way back to Canada. Do the math. The wingspan, half the wingspan of the 130 is above what you would see on the ocean. Waves, troughs. I think we'll make it.
Because education is very important, and education is everything. Me and my family doing our best to survive. So now I have to go.
I'm going to send you some tomatoes.
And, thank you for visiting me. Bye bye.
Remember, all the food you buy in the store, they tell you, oh, you can't grow that, blah, 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 blah. They tell you throw all the seeds in the bag. And you start looking, you find out fig trees and date trees grow in North America. They just got to be bred a few generations to adapt to the weather. Well, the dryness in a desert is not that different from the dryness in an Arctic region. It's the same dry air. Suck the moisture right out of you, which would be the swamp cooler effect, the wind chill, which in the desert, in the heat, you don't think of, but that's what's keeping you cool. So I got it down to the point where when they fuck up my router, I just reset it, and it only takes apparently an hour because it does it for fucking. There's something. It's like somebody's trying to upload their programming to my router, and the router says this hashtag, this hash doesn't match, and it starts over, and it starts over again, and it starts over again. So, this is life, I guess. You know, artificial life, silicone valley. So I remember for a few months there, I was pointing out, like, every time I turn around, these assholes are somewhere nearby. They've been like that. When they see me now, they react more out of fear than anything. It's funny to me. Jesus Christ, I'm supposed to be upset by that? People attacking me or acting like they're afraid? Hey, I'm all for that. But Alphabet Soup Company, you have some answering to do. You have some answering to do because you are obviously taking steps above and beyond what could be expected from a mere employee in your organization or a subcontractor. Somebody higher up in your fucking group. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. Oh, yes, they are. I'll put it to you this way. If you work for Google and you want to find out how somebody's router works, you're going to find out the manuals and everything. All the shit they can't reproduce to the public, they can still have copies for their own use. Did you kill the radio? That's okay. Thank you, Slow-Mo. You just saved me a button click. You just saved me a button click. Oh, up and down the Slow-Mo Chomo's getting upset. No, he should be mad. Why would I be mad? You're gonna die. And I'm already dead. What can you do to me? What can you do to me? Slow-Mo. Up and down the Slow-Mo Chomo. Up and down the pedophile clown. What are you gonna do, boss? Now, somewhere along the way, I reset a bunch of settings in my box and I set them back again. So the GPU, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Both tracks have been loaded on this box for 2 hours. So this 30-second delay to bring it up is not because the track needs to be called from the internet. Birds? The birds? Chirp, chirp, chirp. You ask that bird why you chirping, nobody can hear it. But 100 years from now, that bird's chirp is going to be on that recording.
Got it for the low, got it for the low. What you really do, I got all the snow.
So they'll come across as rude and abrasive. Just bear in mind, I'm not trying to talk to the polite general public sometimes. Sometimes there's bad people I'm addressing.
I feel like I've been the goat.
You ain't one of them bad people. Don't take it personal.
I know I can't hold my own.
I'm a dog. I ain't gonna forget nothing. I'm gonna bite that motherfucker as soon as I smell him again. I can smell you through the goddamn screen, bro. Hey, do you know what Japan had smell-o-vision 25 years ago, just like their video cell phones? You think you're so high-tech. You know what they built that on? Every graphical interface you use, every monitor you use, built on what we said we would. We're going to do it this way because it's more economical. What up to that guy?
Came back with a better vision. I ain't never switching. I'ma get this chicken. Crime pays us my way.
Do you believe this stayed rolled for like 20 minutes?
Fuck the cops. I'ma make it members when a Merry Christmas. I've been on this since how they want to get their lips wet. All these bitches used to try to swear me now.
Keep it up. Your connection's unstable. Your connection. You're getting slow-mo's getting mad. Slow-mo up and down the slow-mo. Up and down the slow-mo chomo's getting mad. Up and down the slow-mo chomo's getting mad. What's the problem? I'm leaving in a minute. You knew that, but you forgot till I just said it. Wow, slow-mo. So it's 90 seconds to the top of the hour. So he thinks he's getting one step ahead of me by doing his time of day attack a minute early. I think that you're just a fake. These white boy fucking prayers, bro.
Communication screw-ups at Halibut First Nation.
Except for the fact that description of Jesus in the Bible, he's got dark skin and white hair, that's an old black man.
Hell stop! Life goes on and on and on. Hell stop!
Doesn't like hearing that. Read the description of the Bible. Put a picture of a white guy and a picture of an old black man, and read the words, and it will identify the black man, not the white man.
Hell stop! Life goes on and on and on. Hell stop! Life goes on and on and on. Hell stop!
3 steps per minute, 0.7.
Life goes on and ain't no shoulder. Seems like mine is going up in slow. But no matter how tough it get, I never let them see me sweat. So throw your guns in the air if you sure.
We got guns for sale.
Problems ain't hurt my head. Things could be worse. I can be dead. You wanna hold my hand and move in the right direction and represent the section. The game of life over there, all with the difference. Ain't nothing stopping me. I'ma do it properly. So I have to see, not trying to live in poverty or misery. About to get right. Like a business, I think what's life all about. I know some people spend their whole life trying to figure it out. Things have changed, but we gotta maintain. We're playing in the game, no pain, no gain.
Well, 7 flashing lights in multiple colors.
Whatever. Look for the better. A fat level, mad juice and mad pressure. That's what we live for. Don't stop.
It's now 6 o'clock. I started this at 4:30. It's now 6 o'clock. I'm supposed to be mad. You're not letting me finish. Slow-mo's buddy at TPS 11 to 15.
Life goes on and on and on. Life goes on and on and on.
Welcome to People, Politics, Land, and Water.
Hey, Slow-mo, the alarm didn't go up. So that means whatever happened there a minute earlier wasn't about the alarm, was it? I know what we'll do. We'll do it at the same time the alarm goes off, and his nigger ass will think it's his own fault. The problem is there's 18 months ahead of that where there was no problem. And you cocksuckers sleep and we don't. You sleep a lot.
Journals full of classics, livers full of greatness. Got so many bitches, I might give some to the neighbors. The realest in them is all filled with imitators. This the rawest fucking bars, bro. You dealing with the brain. Hey, yo, fuck the hook, straight bars and still make it sound tight. Adam Bond with a real one sound like. Cloud nine and rappers hit them with a ground strike. On the one way, we giving them a round play. There's a way, but don't get in the way of my will. Cause if you do, that's the day you get killed. That's the game that you grill. Cause the game is for real.
Like the metal seem to be growing.
Bullet in your brain will get spilled. The chamber is filled to make the whack retire their appetite. This nigga shit rapid fire. This your last reminder. If you pass the wire, I don't know what your flow sucks. You a massive liar. The assassin put it up, they get it. They suck it in a cup. Tie your ass up to the duct. Stick it to your face, suck your fake like some subway shit. Hey yo, fuck the hook, straight bars and still make it sound tight. CRA what a real one sound like. Cloud nine and rappers hit them with a ground strike. On the one way, we giving them a round tight.
Saw that's with my hand on the handle. Look, the main handler again on the hamburger. Coming to making a burger for you and your friends. I'm gonna get it right to that hand. Like a fucking circle rolling down the street. People need to meet a stupid street. Flash. I give a fuck. We don't invest in a vest because we ain't what a face not a test. Why you test?
Crawl through the depths where they won't protect you. Check you with all due respect. No fuck a hook, straight bars and still make it sound tight. Ace fuck with a real one sound like. Cloud nine and rappers hit them with a crown strike. On the one way, we giving them a round tight. Bitch, a lingerie cruising on my way to Scotland. James Harden, rocking shot, going in, no trying to guard me, beg your pardon. T-Gram, fuck your name, God's finest. Everything you drop, Thomas, get your spot minus. Fiends sniffing and sniffing with other Scott signers. I play chairs over heads, feeling like rock climbing. Fuck the clock, shit is over when I stop rhyming all day. I'm shutting down your slot top for pumping, it's bumping. Just speed up, pops and jumping. Fuck about my trap now. You ain't copping nothing. Half a bird and get
why do you care? Go ahead and stare. Take a fucking pick and post it everywhere.
The cost of nothing is the most expensive. Close the trench with my co-defendants, hoping that they go to sentence. My whole squad mostly henchmen. Like Jimmy send me clip full of stencil, passing through like it's loaded. Hey yo, fuck the hook, straight bars and still make it sound tight. T-Grams with a real one sound like. Cloud nine and rappers hit them with a ground strike. On the one way, we giving them a round flight.
These are water jugs or something? I guess you can't see. I'll show you. The donkey's got these four things. Looks like candlestick holders or something. Look like they're supposed to be water jugs or something. Do all this. You're still not going to see it quite. I'll show you after.
Reality, bitch. Come on. Walk with us.
If we were in a gang, I'd bang on the bitches, leaving all the snitches, sleeping with the fishes. If we were in a gang, I'd let it be known I'm not alone. We lurking outside your home. If we were in a gang, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd be a renegade and walk around and regulate. If we were in a gang, I'd join the government and try to rule the world.
Remember before this Captain
Gangsta, gangsta.
is it Tom Moore? Fuck. The point is, the 100-year-old guy raised 33 million pounds. 100-year-old man climbed out the window and disappeared. I found that book. I read it on here, the title, and then the next thing I hear is this old dude raising 33 million. That's like $50 million.
So if they think they're gonna shut us down, I think not. Taking the underground, just like you never seen. If I was in the gang, my team would be a big machine. Straight record shit, not giving a fuck. When I'm looking for the loot, everybody's getting stuck. Let it go. When we come around, bitch, we united. I'm gonna keep it real. If we a gang, we about to riot. If we were a gang, I'd do the same shit I do now. My psychopathic mind thought soldiers ready to move out. Now who's down to move pounds? Real life shootouts. My killers run up in the river, make that bitch my new house. Now do rounds, they put this ass me to keep. Psychopath in the label, they runs beneath the street. Check it, I am the shady one to read it in the articles. I'm crazy with a gun up in the body in a particle. cool. But I just limbo, come with the kinfolk, just be info. But I look your window, all I do is swim, bro. Get a pin skin folk, gonna get your body stretched out like a limo with a twin fold. Shut them in tempos and roll up, but I get blown and don't never sweat like Tim Post. Always been pro pimp hoes anyway, that I get dope. Gang bang, I slang gang, my ninjas do the same thing. And never will I change, man. You cannot maintain. It's okay when I ain't that thing, you get your shit low. Make it up when I aim the claim. Let's say when I grip, I gotta sit on in the savage.
This week, Mi'kmaq Matters receives federal funding. Welcome to Mi'kmaq Matters, a podcast.
Amigo, fuck, hey, that blows my mind. They went that far backwards.
I'm about to put y'all with some new shit.
We gotta learn how to pronounce it better than their own grandkids.
This don't get close. Yeah, I grind hard so my ankle is swollen. I got the blink power, whipping up the potion. Magic tricks, watch me turn crack into golden. Make it vanish, then bounce back like a rolling. Who they lying to, saying that I fell off? I'm the hardest out there, it's mad cause I show up. Call them up, put it in the rear into detox. Sawed off, 3 shot, jumps like the tip off. Got some young dogs who will slice off your dreadlocks. He chillin' with the Mac on his black like a laptop. Ladder in the block, trying to climb a rooftop. I was on the cold block, you was on the seesaw. Nozzle on the burner hole bigger than a meatball. Bullets like craters, you don't wanna hear a launch off. I'm shooting all neighbors, all the neighborhood dogs. Anything walking on the block is getting all out. And from dog, I know that you heard of him. So be calm, run up on them with the burner thing. I'm in a bitch and a whip.
I still ain't read my fucking newspaper.
I'm writing up, we're writing up. They're writing up, run up, put her lurking. Driving up to churches, these niggas getting girded like old lady person. Fuck a comment, I run up in person. Bullets like comets on fire when they burn it. He gon' need an angel, surgeons can't save him. Gripping on their hammer every time I car drive it. I ain't gonna slip again, plus I'm impatient. Member of the other side, now he's just a patient.
Plus the other side, rolling down the neighborhood with the windows down real
statement. Jumping with a double O, and he's no agent. He's Asian and Colombian. A lot of niggas racing. Once I seen the forfeit, forgot about the lucid. I love getting close. I ain't really with the chasing. I ain't going rounds like Freddy versus Jason. First altercation, I'll shake birds, no pigeons. Watching for the pagans. A lot of niggas listen, same niggas who be reading it. It's wrong, dog. I know that you heard of it. So be calm, run up on it with the burner thing. I'm in a bitch and a whip that's suburban. You don't want my body strapped up in a turban. I'm writing up, we're writing up. They're hiding up till I run up on her lurking. Put bodies into hearses, driving up to churches. These niggas getting girded like old lady purses. Whip it till it's pudding. Shocking with the ice cold. Hang it out to dry, knock it off, then you reload. Don't forget the street code. Even the police know niggas who be session and not listening their own home. With their own weapon like they blew away their own dome. I'm hard on the futures, better with the solo. I was in the old folks, I was trapping Dolo. Get my boy Cobo, watch him go loco. See, I play the touch run, I don't need no muscle. Barrel and a nozzle with a hole like a tunnel. I shoot him up, they dress him up and put him in a tunnel. He's throwing up his blood, now he's lying in a puddle. Bloods get it, thugs get it, Crips get it too. I ain't riding for a color dog, I'm riding for my crew. But if I had a choice, I would have been a Subaru. Hollow point, new choice, blowing up like a loose. It's wrong, dog, I know that you heard of it. So be calm, run up on it with the burner thing. I'm in a bitch and a whip that's suburban. You don't want my body strapped up in a turban. I'm writing up, we're writing up. They're hiding up, till I run up with a Lincoln. Put bodies into hearses, driving up to churches. These niggas getting girded like old lady purses.
Man, it's easy on the mic with you now, man. Straight T-Holly. You know who the producer that? Yo. We them souls, nigga, we don't fuck around. We them souls, let them fuck around. We don't fuck Nigga, what it is? Nigga, what it ain't? Talking all that shit, we ain't even stepping the paint. And if you trying to be what you niggas really think, put all that noise like we driving in the tank. Got a couple of when they see you, they gon' crank. Hit them with the real steppers when you watch it on snap. They gon' get your ass wet, and I ain't talking about no safety. Got the AK-47 when I shoot it, I don't blink. When I don't really give a fuck, yeah, I'm totally tough. Tell me I'm gon' bust, I just wanna fun. I don't want a cup, like what's up? Homie, better chill before this shit get real. Got them shooters down the door, jump off you just like a pill. When I pull up at that nigga squad, hop out like what's the deal? Nigga fuck with me, I'm gon' kill, control it like a grill. I don't really give a fuck, I just shoot him over the stick. And nigga fuck with me, I'm gon' put him down and let him rip. Hey, run around town, shooting 100 rounds. When I got them trees, yeah, you know I got them pounds. We them Zoes, nigga, won't fuck around. Like what you saying, J? I got a chopper, best believe you gon' be laying, bitch. When I pull up, we gon' leave valley frames, bitch. Got them trippers, got them choppers, yeah, we spring.
Tomorrow afternoon, right around -7, and we'll continue to see temperatures plummet throughout the day. Tomorrow night, we'll dip down to around -11 degrees. Our overnight low tonight, +1 degree.
And right now in downtown Toronto, 4 degrees with an overcast sky. The same conditions at Pearson Airport.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News at 6:12. Some good news for families in Oakville. Starting tomorrow, kids age 12 and under in Oakville can use public transit for free. The town says the change is aimed at promoting a healthier and more engaged community. In 2015, the TTC made a similar decision when they waived fares for children 12 and under as well. The director of Oakville Transit, Barry Cole, says he hopes the pilot program will give riders an easier and more affordable transit experience, resulting in long-term transit use. The program will run until December 2022, after which the findings will be reported to Oakville City Council. Coming up in just 60 seconds, we'll take a quick look at your top stories, followed by sports.
680 News Time, 6:13. Everyone is doing their part to stay safe, to stay healthy. It's time to look forward to a healthy future, a healthy you, a healthy planet. Healthy Planet is your essential source for high-quality vitamins, sports nutrition, and more. Now through March 10th, save on tons of items.
Oh, stay together, Team Canada will be okay somehow. Buy some shit.
Serving you safely in-store, curbside, and online at healthyplanetcanada.com.
No, don't get it twisted. I'm not the first person in the world to start whatever video I'm doing by smoking a joint first. But Dan Rather has to do his lines and his drinks before the camera starts rolling. The video starts with this, so you can get prepared for what I'm about to hear too, because I'm not ready for it either.
We see hope. Some see limits. We see possibilities. At Amica Senior Lifestyles, it is possible to be safe, active, and connected, to experience a premium lifestyle tailored to you.
If your kid come on with hair like this and you ain't got hair like this, it's not my fault. It's her fault. It's her fault. It's not my fault.
Find out how at amica.ca.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News.
Right now in downtown Toronto, it is about 4 degrees and slightly overcast. Good evening. I'm James Beckett.
And I'm Veronica Thor. Here are the top stories this hour.
Bad news for Raptors fans. Tonight's game has been canceled due to positive COVID-19 test results. They were set to play the Chicago Bulls in Tampa. It's not currently known if the players or coaching staff have tested positive. Back here in Ontario, the province is reporting over 1,000 cases of COVID-19 for the 5th day in a row, bringing our provincial total to a new grim milestone. Today we've hit a total of 300,000 cases in the province, most of which have been resolved. And starting at 8 tonight, the best and brightest of Hollywood are seeing who will win at the 78th Golden Globe Awards. Netflix is leading the way with nominations, Mank and The Crown each having 6. Keep listening to 680 News for the latest on the awards. 680 News Time, 6:15. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Here's Show Ali.
The Blue Jays were back in action today and were victorious in their
previous administration in terms of moving the dial in the right direction on the international stage.
Trudeau spoke about a number of other topics as well, including climate change and the cancellation of the Keystone Pipeline, as well as the actions that took place back on January 6th at the U.S. Capitol.
That was a scene that Canadians watched with consternation and horror and real concern.
The PM also reiterated that he is confident all Canadians will be vaccinated by the end of the summer.
Twice to get online,
Russian
and I couldn't get the video online.
Navalny has arrived at a penal colony near Moscow to serve his prison sentence. Navalny was ordered to serve 2 years and 8 months behind bars for violating the terms of a suspended 2014 conviction. A Russian news agency says Navalny will quarantine before joining other prisoners. According to one of Navalny's allies, he was moved earlier this week without his family or legal team's knowledge of the location. Monday is deadline day for you to contribute to your RRSPs, marking the unofficial start of tax season. But there are some changes to be aware of this year due to the pandemic. Many Canadians will likely want to claim the new work-from-home benefit, which allows up to $400. Tax experts warn this could be one of the more confusing tax seasons on record because of all the emergency benefits available to
all the different letters everybody got in the mail.
Take advantage of the federal COVID benefit, they should expect to owe money. But there is an interest relief program.
If they reset your password, send you something in the mail after you move. I lived somewhere for like 2-3 years before I found out they still had a different address.
Until April of 2022.
My home address. My current address is my
people who collected money from one of the COVID-related benefit programs. If Canadians owe taxes for any other reason, that money is still due on April 30th of this year.
Money somewhere. You're thinking you're going to go file your taxes, and depending on which method you use, either you can't file or it declines to return, or it gets flagged for auditing, or
it's going to be a bit of a different story as we get into
and the letters go to your old address. You don't know what's going on. You call up, no, I can't tell you anything because that's not the right address.
Let's spin the wheel. Yes. Yes.
News. You're listening to All News Radio 680 News at 6:18. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau talking about Canada-United States relations and the fight against COVID-19 today in a new American interview. On NBC's Meet the Press, Trudeau was asked when Canada might consider reopening the border. Obviously, as vaccinations
Wait, that's another variant. You can't say nothing without offending
to get through this, but we'll continue to engage with the White House and with the administration on the best ways to start releasing border measures. But for now,
he can do brown face and black face. He's equal opportunity racist.
Trudeau says they're looking at metrics like hospitalizations, variants, and case counts when making decisions about the border. And taking a look at the United Kingdom, concerns about the spread of COVID-19 are rising as children in Great Britain are set to head back to school on the 8th of March. But now the UK government says they'll be providing families with free COVID-19 test kits.
Twice-weekly tests will be provided to children's households regardless of whether anyone has symptoms. The tests will also be offered to adults working with schools, including bus drivers. The government believes the move will provide reassurance to family members anxious about sending their children back to school. Schools in England have been closed except to children of key workers since January. Britain has Europe's worst virus death toll at nearly 123,000 dead. I'm Karen Chamas.
And coming back to Canada, members of the Jewish community in Vancouver are speaking out in response to a t-shirt created by an anti-vaxxer comparing the COVID-19 vaccine to the Holocaust. The 680's Bethlehem Miriam explains, one Jewish leader says this is about educating the public as to why this is incredibly hurtful.
Ezra Shank, CEO of the Jewish Federation of Greater Vancouver, says the imagery of the Holocaust should be kept sacred to honor the memory of its victims.
Often what we find is that when we're able to engage with individuals around this, they do start to understand that what they perceived as being provocative, they did not fully understand how hurtful it really is.
And that's because all the old people from back then are dead, and these kids never met them or heard them speak.
Yellow star that reads COVID cost. On Twitter, the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs says
what else did it say? Like, now that's the other thing. How exactly did they relate it?
Malicious intent or a lack of empathy. I'm Bethlehem Miriam.
It makes you do this.
Coming up in just 60 seconds, we'll take a quick look at traffic and weather.
680 News Time, 620.
Every day, Canadians are buying homes and getting the wrong mortgage rates. Important announcement. If you have a home mortgage closing in the next 90 days, 1.28% 5-year fixed mortgage rates are available at butlermortgage.ca. No matter what you were told or what you signed, you can still switch to 1.